The Nature of Light, a talk by Oscar Ichazo. In The Nature of Light, Oscar Ichazo presents a way of triggering the mind in its natural process to disclose the divine light of the mind in itself. Through contemplation, the highest realization for discovering the true nature of mind is opened. The 5 different steps of the contemplation reveal an empty mind full of light that unfolds sequentially into the final state of the internal blue light of heaven. This method originates in Ichazo and his integral philosophy, and has never been presented throughout history. With the clarity provided by this contemplation, we can discover a way to enlightenment.
Now we are going really to try to make the exercise with the lights. The importance of this exercise is only one, is to trigger the mind going on. It's a trigger. But once the mind is going on, we have just to observe the mind. The thing that we say that is a rule, don't touch the painting, is don't impose your mind, your thoughts now, in what is happening. Your awareness has to be just in what is happening. And what is happening is nothing more than a real, complete, natural process. For whatever reason, and this process have not been never calculated well. It's not that they were not aware of it, but they never could make any sense out of it. Because, well, lights appear, lights go, etc., And if you don't have your mind really tuned, you don't handle the mind. That is an impossibility. The way for us to enter directly into the higher states is just by contemplating our own mind in its process. And we see the process of our mind in the lights. You make the solid fusion of the two things. So, our awareness have become part of what is happening in our mind. Those lights that we see are not lights outside. We know that. Because light increases and it's not increasing outside. Have nothing to do. The neon lights is something that is very difficult to get to it. Neon lights. It's even farcical. But as a matter of fact, that is what's happened. Because when the mind, because of the attention, have become concentrated, this is empty, the light really increases and make a very sharp division between light and shadow. So in the moment that you move a little bit, appears the light pure, almost without any shadow in it. Then what is happening, that the mind have entered in a higher state of concentration. It's even more focused and more concentrated because now it's empty. Concentration means empty the mind of everything into the focus. After that, when the lights have get in that situation, naturally happens the division of the mind. We go in meditation. Division of the mind is that the absolute mind retires back and the relative mind comes inside, in front of us. But, it's not moving. We are the witness now. We are witnessing the relative mind, and that's why we know there is absolute mind. If we are not aware of the relative mind, we are not aware also of the internal mind that doesn't move at all. It's perfect. always is perfect. It's us, the ones that are not in it. This method of getting in this type of awareness have never been qualified, and the only thing that we have is that the experiences that happen in it, and they talk of chariots and you know, and they try to really put in our terms what they are seeing there. Try yourselves to do it. You'll see how difficult it is. It's practically impossible. If somebody had not been there, you cannot talk with him. Practically, you know. There is no communication because we are not seeing with the same values. So if you see, the basis of integralism is always to focus in the process of our mind that constantly is living in the steps of enlightenment itself. So what we are doing is putting enlightenment to work for us. Instead of us work for enlightenment, we let enlightenment to work for us. And works much better. Much better. Enlightenment really knows about enlightenment better than anybody else, for sure. And we know exactly how it is. We know exactly the moment that happened. But we have the tendency that to lose that moment. And really, what it is only one thing. We lose the witness. The witness for us appears in meditation. Meditation for us is that. Meditation means to separate the mind, the relative in front from the absolute in the back. When the separation is there, how more awake do you want? There is no. There are degrees now of that awareness, but it's the same awareness. And we can get to that awareness in one exercise. Now, the product of those exercises are that they are in conjunction with enneagrams. And because they are in conjunction with the enneagrams, the entire system of our psyche works. Ad unisum becomes really consonant with itself, clear with itself, and because of that, it's just simply awakening. The difference we know is really so big that again, words fail. How do you explain it? Attention, light increase, focus. Concentration, neon lights, empty. Meditation, yellow mist, witness. Contemplation, fireflies, sameness. Theosis, violet mist, unity. The thing is this, you know, when we get into the violet mist, and that is why we cannot really have any doubt where we are, you see. If we say just, I am in theosis, then yes, it's very nice. But if there is not the violet light, and we know that when we are in theosis, we can be like this, and the violet light is all around. All around. It's theosis. And if we persist in it, as I was saying yesterday, we enter in the blue light. In the sky, light. This sky. It's like that. But you know, since the ancient times, they didn't know why they said that heaven is the color of the sky. Nobody. And still they say that, well, the Egyptians believed it was the color of the sky because in Egypt they have such a clear sky. All is blue and fantastic. Why not? But as a matter of fact, it's not that. the heaven that we are seeing is not heaven sky, it's the internal heaven. What happens is that the human prototype in us has acquired not only his maturity in theosis, that's what it is, but now have just rested in its own state. There is nothing higher than theosis, but still is that rest of the heaven of theosis, where it's just paradise, just heaven. But again, it's a heaven that we cannot explain. All words fail. But if you enter, and I know so many of us enter, even, they start the meditation, and I know many of us that they are already in the blue. They are they are already in the blue. They are starting meditating. Yeah. But when that happens, don't be aware. You just continue what you have to do, and let it happen with your meditation instead of just being there. What is magnificent, who says no. But we are talking of doing an exercise. And I insist, this is primordial for us because it's our scientific material with what we can really notice with a perspective of witnessing, of evidence, and we can have a scientific consequence, a scientific coherence, a scientific validity. Now we have really to see carefully that when the violet arises, it never minds it's a little bit before we all really make our own assesses ourselves with our experience, because that is something that there are no books that can tell about. We know that. Even if we can try to define fireflies, get to something, you got to see fireflies. But it's worse. They believe that it could be, fireflies. Who knows? But the problem is that we have to be totally consequent with our experience right there. Is the moment of the here and now for us, where we define our life just in being aware of our own experience. That because it's being private is our own, but here we are in a school where transmission is constant and is obvious. Because what? Because we have the same mentality, and we know exactly what can be really passed in a telepathy or no way. Only essential thoughts can be passed, because only essential thoughts are the same in everybody. Telepathy is possible because the medium, so to speak, is there. If it's not the medium there, telepathy is impossible. How you are going to telepathize things that are not really universal? Only what's universal between us, the telepathy is perfect. And when you have the telepathy of the universal radically reforms all what is in front of you and makes of that an ornamental mind. And you enter in the ornamental mind. Sometimes, we can even not be that aware. That's not true. Because you cannot get there and not feel that you are there. That's an impossibility. Your awareness has increased so much Then now how you are going to sleep to try to repeat? Doesn't make any sense. So let's now make the lights and let's concentrate in the experience and in the security. This is a school of transmission, and I'm telling you why exactly. And because now I can speak with you and say, yes, we have a different language, and we know we do. And for us, it's absolutely necessary to accept that in order that our life doesn't come against a reality that could be not coordinating with us. But for us, that would be not the point. In our awareness, we would deal with it quite differently. I mean, we would be there, we would be entire. Nothing could go wrong. Nothing. Ever. This is a school of enlightenment. Our think for humanity is enlightenment in all its possibilities. In all. All. Up, down, right, and left. All. Well, have a great experience.
If you are interested in being initiated into the light, please fill in the initiation request form, available by clicking on the upper left image on your screen. Thank you.